everyone, hope you're doing amazing today. We're doing really well, thank you. My name is Carolina Fonseca Jimenez. I focus on doing children's books that promote love, unity, and peace. And as you know, we also interpret dreams here. The reason we interpret our dreams is because when we do, we connect with our subconscious, and when we share them, we connect with one another on a more profound level. So okay guys, in this video, we're going to talk about two different things. The first thing is I want to talk to you about my experience at Silk Hope School. We went and we read Lupita and the Magic of Mexico there last week. And then also I want to talk to you about one of the questions that you all have been sending me about very confusing dreams and like really strange dreams. Okay, so we'll get into that in a little bit. But let's go ahead and get started. So last week we were at Silk Hope Elementary, and they have like an annual author, like this year is the year of the author at their school. And so they invited us over to read Lupita and the Magic of Mexico. It was so much fun, and they gave us this little certificate banner thing. It was really cute. And I want to tell you about our experience here with the kids, guys, because every single time we go to a school, we get like a Q&A, okay? And this one was different than all of the others. It was just really cool because if you've read the book of Lupita and the Magic of Mexico, you know that we talk about like all the magical things that we saw, right? And if you know me personally, you know that I wrote this in 2018, and it was kind of like a dream of what I wanted to have happen, like what I wanted to have happened like years and years ago, because I didn't get a chance to grow up with my grandmother or to see her or anything like that for like 28 years, right? So it was kind of like a wishful, kind of imaginative book. Okay, I wrote it, and then later, like a year later, I actually did a lot of the stuff that happened in this book. I actually went to Mexico with my mother. I saw my grandmother. A lot of the things in the book actually came true. So it was kind of really amazing. And the kids were so intrigued. They were asking about that. They're like, what in the book is true and what is fake? They're like, what's true and what is fake? And they were so like wrapped up with this idea. And I thought that was kind of funny because I've never gotten that before. Like they wanted to know, they're like, we know some of this stuff is true. Tell us what's true and what is false. So I started having to like analyze my book right then and there. You know, I started analyzing all of the things in there, and I thought to myself, I'm like, oh my gosh, like a lot of this stuff actually happened, and I didn't fully know that it was going to happen or anything like that. And even the symbolism within the book, those things happened. Okay, so it was kind of crazy because I started having to explain to the kids that, you know, I actually did go to Mexico, and I did go with my mother, and I did see my grandmother after a really long time, right? And then also, you know, my grandfather had passed away. And then above all of that, the little butterfly that I show in every single picture, like that little one, is very symbolic to me, right? It's very symbolic because whenever I was in Mexico trying to get my residency, not knowing if I would be able to come back into this country or not, I saw that yellow butterfly, and it brought so much peace to me, right? It brought all of that peace to me, and I just felt that I needed to include it in this book. And the kids were so intrigued by that because they're like, you know, you saw the butterfly and it was real to you, and then now it's all over your book, and now you're able to share that book. And I'm like, yeah, it was just really cool that they got it, you know, that they really got it. And then they started sharing with me the people that have passed away in their lives, right? They started sharing that because in this book I talk about, you know, how my grandfather had passed away and how we were celebrating his life for Day of the Dead. And so all the kids started raising their hands, and they're like, you know, my grandfather passed away too, and my grandmother passed away, and my dog passed away, and all of these things. But the really cool thing about this was that many of them were saying that even though their loved ones had passed away and they weren't physically there, that they just felt like they were always watching them. One of them said, you know, I always have good memories of them, and the feeling that they said that the feeling they felt during that memory, like that feeling continues. And I was like, wow, like these are really small kids, and a lot of the time we don't think that we don't always give kids all the credit that they deserve, but they are such little teachers, you know. And many of them just said that they felt that that energy still continued, that they knew that their loved ones weren't physically there, but that they still felt protected by them, and that they still felt that they were looking out. That's what they said. They're still looking out for me, is what one of the children said. And I just thought that that was incredibly like amazing and magical, because sometimes us as adults, you know, sometimes we begin to doubt things like that, or, you know, we start getting insecure about various things. And here are these children just saying that even though their loved ones are gone, they feel that that energy continues. And I was just like, right on. Like, I totally get that. I totally connect with you on that. So I wanted to share that experience with you all because, you know, this book that I wrote, like, I didn't really know it was going to be a book. I just know that I had the title. The title kind of came to me in a moment of distress, and when I wrote that title down, I felt some huge connection with it, and I didn't realize that it would help me connect with so many wonderful people and so many wonderful kids and teachers. So I just want to thank the kids at Silk Hope for inviting me, and the teachers at Silk Hope for making it happen. And I'm just excited to continue that conversation with them. And then also they are doing like their young authors books, right? So if you have a child out there that wants to share their young authors book with us, we're happy to share it on this channel. So please keep me posted on that. But okay, now guys, let's move on to the dream portion of this, and that is your question that you've been sending in this week. Many of you have been asking about very confusing dreams. You say that you're having dreams that are like very confusing. The symbolism in there doesn't make any sense, and you're just looking at it like, what the heck is this? It must not mean anything because it makes no sense to me, okay? And guys, I'm here to tell you that it has a message. All of the dreams that you have, they all have a message for you, okay? But now, a lot of the time, it's not in the symbolism, okay? Because the symbolism, oftentimes, if we are running our lives and if we are very confused in our waking life, we don't know what we're going to do. We're a little bit insecure. We don't know what we're going to do next, what our goals are. That energy is going to reflect in your dream state, okay? And it's going to come up in weird symbols. You're not going to get it. But guess what? The underlying thing is the feeling, okay? Focus on your feeling. If you are looking at these images and you're like, Carolina, I don't know what to make of them, don't worry about it. What are you feeling at the deepest level of it? Many of you are saying confusion. You are just feeling confused. You're looking at all of these things not knowing what the heck they mean, but at the bottom of it, you do know. And that is that there's confusion there. Okay, so let's reflect that outward. What is going on in your waking life where you're feeling confused like this? Is it something, a particular situation at work? Is it a situation with your family? Is it confusion about a particular person, about a particular relationship? There's something there. Okay, there's something there. All you have to do is reflect it outward. Once you're able to pinpoint and say, the confusion for me is arising out of this situation, or the confusion for me is arising when I am with this person, okay? Wherever the confusion is for you, you have to acknowledge it and you have to accept it, okay? The reason we need to do this is because your subconscious is saying, I am confused. I don't know what to do. We don't know what we're doing. We are totally confused. And that is why I'm showing you all of this mess. And that is why you're feeling the sense of confusion. Okay. Now, once we're able to pinpoint it in our waking life, it's time for changes. Okay. We know that it's time to make changes because we don't want to feel confused, right? We want to feel with peace. We want to feel that we have clarity. We want to feel that we have purpose. We want to feel that we know what we're supposed to be doing in this life. Okay, so if you're feeling confused, if you're having a dream that is causing you a lot of confusion, it's simply letting you know this is how we're operating our lives right now. This is how we're really feeling. Okay, but now that we know what is causing this confusion for us, what is at the root of it, now we have the power to make those changes. Okay, that is why we interpret dreams, guys, because we want to know what is going on at that deep level, and we want to make sure that we're moving into loving energy. So if you wake up with that confusing energy, you're in this state, okay? You're all the way over here in left field. Let's go ahead and move ourselves to neutral. The way we move to neutral is we start to boot those things out, those things that causes confusion, anxiety, frustration. Those kinds of things are the things we need to let go of, okay? We need to live a simpler life. Let go of those things. Let go of them. Get to neutral state. Once you're able to get into neutral, you're able to move into loving energy a little bit faster, okay? The reason it's so important to be in loving energy is because, think about it. If you're in a really confusing situation in your waking life, okay, let's say that being around this person causes yourself a lot of confusion and you're like, oh, I don't know if I should be here. This is confusing. I don't like it. Okay, if we're in a loving state and if we're loving ourselves so deeply, we're able to love ourselves enough to say, you know what? Stop. That's enough. I need to create some space between me and this person or me and this situation. Why? Because it's causing me confusion. I need a moment of self-reflection. I need a moment to be by myself. I need a moment to connect with myself to know what I really want in this world, what I really want in my life. Okay? That is why I'm always talking about moving into loving energy. It's not just because it feels great, because it does, but it's because it allows you to see things clearly. Once you really love yourself, once you really love those that are around you with all of their imperfections and with your imperfections, you're able to see things for what they are, okay? And if being in a particular relationship or in a particular situation is causing you confusion, don't worry about it, because if you love yourself enough, you're able to say, that's enough. That is enough of me allowing myself to feel confused about this. I need some space with this. I need some time with this. I need some time by myself. I need some time to do some self-reflection. okay? That is all that it does, right? So that's why it's so important. If you're having a dream where you're like confused, don't know what's going on, remember your feeling, okay? If you're feeling confusion, that is all that it's letting you know. It's letting you know this is what we're feeling at our deepest level. We don't like this feeling so much. So let's move over to neutral and then to loving energy, so that way we can make those changes in our lives. That is why it's so important to continue to listen to your dreams, guys, because at the end of the day, we want to move into more loving energy. We want to share love, unity, and peace with people. But the only way we can do that is having it on our own. We have to have it first in order to be able to share it, okay? So this week, guys, let's start getting rid of those things that causes anxiety, frustration, confusion, whatever. Get rid of those things. Start putting them out. Let's live a simpler, more loving life, okay? And the only way we can do that is by letting go of those things that no longer serve us and start incorporating those things that we really love and we really enjoy, all right? So guys, I send you a huge hug. I send you love, unity, and peace, and we will be in contact, okay? Bye, everybody.